Hey, it is May 8th, Friday morning, and um, I I went to bed last night after I went to my girlfriend. She had her birthday yesterday, so I went out to her house because I wanted a cupcake. I know, right? But it was good to see her on her birthday. It was good to spend time with her family. Um, a number of things have happened yesterday. Um, Boy, I tell you what, yesterday, just actually this past quarantine really has opened up a lot of things. And by what I mean by that, sorry, I'm having a little Friday moment, is that um, the situation with the father son shooting an unarmed jogger in Georgia, Brunswick, Georgia, um, has basically, I think, this happened before the quarantine, but it's now becoming news. And it became, I think, news when we realized these men had not been charged with the murder. These men had not been charged with anything. They said, "Oh, we thought he was one of the guys breaking into our homes. He matched the description, so we wanted to talk to him. He ran away. He fought us. We were scared for our lives." That's not what the video showed. Okay, so everybody's entitled in America to you have the right to be presumed innocent until you go to court. Okay, all these people talking about their rights, the right to assemble for churches, the right to go to school, the right to an education. Okay, one, let's just go here. We have the right to an education, but it is not a federal right. It is now law, but it's not part of the amendments. Clarify, clarify, clear it up. That's the truth. Okay. Education is another story. The First Amendment dictates that you have four rights. You have the right to freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, freedom of press, and if I'm not mistaken, um, freedom of freedom of speech, freedom of to assemble, and freedom of religion. Okay, or freedom of your own independence. So you can do those four things. First Amendment has not been changed. It is the premier amendment to the Constitution, part of our Bill of Rights. So, having said all that, the Second Amendment, number 2, speaks directly to the right to protection. Okay, this means you have the right to bear arms. Does not mean you have the right to shoot whoever you choose to shoot or to quote unquote defend your property when you're not even on your property. All right. So I just want to know, or I just want to put those out there. Okay. I don't need to know anything. I don't need a response. I don't need an agreement because I know what I saw on the video. I don't know who got a hold of that video and leaked it out on the internet, but whoever it was, and they leaked it to the media, I want to thank you because you have exercised the right of freedom of speech. You have exercised the right of freedom of press. You have also shown that freedom to defend oneself by bearing arms was not freedom, it was abuse. All right, there's a difference. Abuse, liberty. Abuse, liberty. All right. Some of the key things in American culture that we should all be aware of, regardless of where you come from, the expectation of the American dream by most Americans, And let me just say, most white Americans. Yeah, I said it. All right. Most white Americans believe these tenets of faith. I honestly believe these are my rights. These are rights that I want shared with everybody of every creed, every color, every immigration status, whatever the case may be. All right. I really do believe that we as Americans should have these inalienable rights. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by our Creator with the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, I don't think that Jefferson meant the pursuit of happiness by pursuing somebody that would make you happy to kill somebody. No, no, this isn't even a situation. Now, if anybody gets upset when somebody does something illegal and gets themselves killed in the process, that's different than when you have somebody who is running for his health, having to fight for his life, and then die like a dog in the street because somebody thought they had the power and the right to destroy another man. And I'm going to tell you this. If you don't know, you are accountable for your actions, regardless what the courts do, because, in America, those of us that have seen the video, we definitely have an opinion. So it's going to be really hard now to find a jury who is unbiased. And we've had attorney generals and defense and public defenders or public prosecutors in the area recuse themselves. If you don't know what the word recuse means, it means they're too closely connected to help with an unbiased response. Y'all get what I'm talking about? Okay, I'm sure you do. Because if you still watch this video at this point, I'm giving you a little history lesson, a little vocabulary lesson, and I'm not ashamed of it. Okay? My faith teaches us that an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. And we're supposed to turn the other cheek. Now, I don't know if these men want to declare that they're Christians, but I beg to differ. Christendom does not, it does call for warfare. It does. There is a holy war going on. At this point, it hasn't come to American soil, other than the fact that we are taking the lives of American-born young men and women who happen to be a different shade of those in power in certain parts of America. All right? Let's just be honest. Let's just be frank about it. Now, this may not be popular. That's why I'm not trying to make it real, public. I'm not trying to share it too much. If it does get shared, it does get shared. I'm not going to take these back. I think God is so upset. He's angry about us taking his name, and he had nothing to do with it. I mean, these people prophesying about, the coronavirus is going to be over, and this is just a way to infringe on our religious rights. Okay. If them telling you that you can't have church inside with more than 10 people, you consider that a problem, I really want you to consider what Jesus did. Okay, let me just give you a little history lesson in the Bible. Okay, Jesus was only in the synagogue a few times in scripture. Okay, when he was there, he tore the place up. It was religion. It was not relationship. And those that were in his inner circle, he chose. He walked with them. He talked with them. And there was like 4 of them that were really close to him, that he certainly shared what was really happening. Whether they could fathom the depth of what he was saying, we find out when, Peter was walking on the water. Father, or Lord, if that is you, call me out upon the water. That's when fear stepped in, but Christ pulled him back up. All right. That would be something to behold. That would be amazing to see. He went to people that he wasn't supposed to talk to. Okay. That means that they're not all going to be holy. Okay. They're not all going to be sinners saved by grace. They're not all going to be saints. Okay. Now, I'm saying that with the tone that I say it in, because I want us to understand that if we are not careful, we will end up Pharisees and Sadducees, and we will not be able to see what God wants us to see. Okay? I think that he's tired of Americans doing things so out of order. So out of order. It is supposed to be God, family, and then the church. Okay? And the church can't happen if you're not taking care of your family. All right. And right now we got families and marriages and relationships falling apart because they're in the same space for like 40 days. Now, if you read the account of Noah, right, in the Old Testament, if you read the account of Noah, he was in the boat on the sea for 40 days and 40 nights. That's how long the storm raged. It took him another 120 days, maybe 150 days, before the dove came back with an olive sprig. I just want you to marinate on that one for a minute. Marinate real good. So this coronavirus in North Carolina here tonight at 5 o'clock, they're changing it so we can go to parks. We can go to a few restaurants that talk, or not restaurants, but retail shops, like the mall is actually going to open up sometime today, tomorrow, who knows. My question and concern is, I went to Michael's to get some things because I've been commissioned to do a graduation cap. Not done yet. I'm working on it, but it's not done yet. So as I'm like shopping at Michael's, because I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted, so I knew I had to shop a little bit. I'm walking around the store and I am noticing these fools with no masks on, no protective gear, nothing. They're walking around like it's not a big deal. People are dying, dummy. And I'm going to say dummy because for over 50 days, we've been told we need to take care of ourselves. We need to not go into places. I'm looking at these people and I'm like, what's wrong with you? And then you're going into your homes. I don't get it. You're taking whatever back to your homes, back to your kids. These kids, there's an illness that's going to come. Boy, you want to talk about the asthma that we have now? Wait. Some lung issues are going to be for real. I don't know. I think that I've done my own little tantrum thing, shared my thoughts. I don't know how long this post is going to be up there because I'm just so upset about the whole thing. People are using God as their crutch, as their reason for the crazy stuff they're doing. Come on, God gave you a brain in your head. Use wisdom. Okay? Wisdom doesn't say track down a jogger who fits a description. Wisdom says call the police. You're no longer a police officer. You're no longer, he's not on your property. He was never on your property. Why would you shoot somebody who is not even on your property? You're in the middle of the street. You can't even write this crap. I'm just in awe. I'm in awe. How dare you go to a store without any kind of mask protection? I have one of those N95, and I've had the same mask. I don't wear it all the time. I only wear it when I'm in the store, and it's got some coffee stains on it, so kind of embarrassing, but it's a mask, and it was given to me for free. Very grateful for it. In the meantime, whenever I go into a store, I make sure it's behind my ears, my mouth is covered, my nose is covered, walking around, not touching stuff unless I know I'm going to buy it. I wash my hands before I go to the store, wash my hands as soon as I get back from the store. I've seen people take bleach water to their packaging for their groceries. Never know how long stuff has been on the thing. It's not a bad practice to do. I just don't get it, how anybody can say they had the right. It's beyond common sense. It's beyond wisdom. It's so beyond. I just don't get it. Anyway, I just don't get it. So I am going to just leave that alone, let y'all do what you do. Let it sink in. If you disagree with me, just keep your opinion to yourself. I'm going to delete the comments if I want to. If you agree with me, I appreciate your agreement, but you don't have to. You don't have to share it. You don't have to do any of that. This has been my journal vlog. Eventually, it'll probably just be for my own personal reflections and not public. But I just had to talk about that. It's part of the quarantine process. I think it's part of the emotions of being locked down for over 30 days, over 40 days, and going out only every 2 hours. It's just, or every 2 days. It's kind of wearing on me. But I don't think that I'm wrong on this. I think that most of America at this point is outraged and is sick and tired of racism unfortunately being a real thing for our children. And having said all that, I'm going to log off because I'm way past my 10 minutes. Have a wonderful Friday.